If your life is not reflecting the amount of inner work you've been doing, then something is off, and you gotta pay attention, because I have been on this journey of self-help and personal growth and spiritual growth and so on for a decade. And at some point, I got myself trapped in self-help, in book, in courses, in coaches, in this and all those tools and all those things. And nothing was changing. If anything, I was getting more obsessed, I was getting more anxious, I had more self-doubt. Like the initial phase when I was growing was fantastic, and then I was stagnating at a certain level. I was doing all the right thing, I was crushing beliefs, I was doing all the meditation and inner work, I was doing all of it. And yet I was not having the breakthrough, the quantum leap, the manifest, all those things that were like promised when you do all this personal transformation work. I was not getting any of it. Of course, my life was gradually, you could say, getting better, and it was definitely better than it was before, and I was more self-aware, so there was wins. And every time I was watching a video or reading a book or doing a course or going to a seminar, I felt this sense of growth and progress, because I'm spending so much time, I'm doing something, right? So your ego takes that progress for happiness and for growth. But if your life doesn't really reflect the amount of work and effort and books and courses and money you spent on it, something is off. And often I see that with clients who are deep into shadow work. And if you don't know what shadow work is, it's basically going deep into the subconscious mind and trying to find the belief that you're not aware of, like your blind spot. What is the one thing holding me back that I don't know, that if I were to know, will have the biggest breakthrough? And this is powerful work. But when you are unaware of why you're doing it, what's the real reason why you're reading books and doing shadow work or whatever you're doing, what is the real reason? Are you doing it because of you want to be free and authentic, because of that expensive reason between yourself? Or are you doing it because you need to heal, because you need to break free, because there's something imperfect in you, or because you need to become better or perfect or something like this? In other words, are you coming from a place of I'm broken, I'm not enough as I am, and then therefore I need to fix myself? Because if you reflect, and if this is the real cause, the real driver behind everything you've been doing, then this is the biggest belief. And I know this is exactly what was the case for me. You see, I was doing all this work, spending so much time doing all this gratitude and all those things, because I was still coming from a place of, you know what, I am not enough as I am now. So I need to work on myself. So I need to grow. So I need to transform. So I need to let go. I need to release. I need to break through. And all the while, the only thing I needed was to accept myself for who I am, where I am now. I needed to give up the fight, and I needed to surrender and really let go. You see, healing is not defined by how much you can fix and transcend and so on. Healing is really taking place when you can fully go into how you're feeling right now. No matter how ugly or how beautiful it is, can you go to the depth of that shame or that embarrassment or that fear or that hurt, and look at that part of you with love, with compassion, or just with observing that part of you and acknowledging that part of you, without distracting yourself and numbing yourself and trying to fix and change and let go of that part, right? Can you really be that present with yourself? Because the moment you do that, that part of you that feels broken or unfixed or unlovable or whatever, that part starts to melt off, and that's really when you start to really integrate. And you see, when I realized that, and I had that big realization when I read the book many years ago, Letting Go by Dr. David Hawkins, right? That the pure just acceptance of where you are, without the thoughts, without the judgment, without the good, bad, right, wrong, but just observing the feeling and feeling deeply into it. And what that really leads you to is greater sense of self-love, wholeness, and acceptance. And when you start to do that, this is where your biggest leap happens. Because when you can decide that you are enough where you are right now, when you can accept your situation, no matter how fucked up it is, no matter how bad or imperfect or still on your way or great it might be already, the moment you simply allow yourself to be okay and accept where you are. Not because you stop and you give up and I'm not saying, okay, accept where you are and give up on the rest. No, but can you accept yourself and accept that I am here, but I am already worthy. of love, of acceptance, of treating myself better, of letting go of all that inner critic and all that shame, and without needing to constantly change or transform myself or become better. But can I just love myself on this journey? Can I accept that I feel unsafe in this situation, that I still have doubt, that I'm still a messy human being, but that I'm also so much more than that? I have all my joy and all my confidence, all my things that are working for me, but I am on my journey. Can you bridge the gap and give yourself the thing that you need the most all along? And that is to give yourself that feeling that I am worthy, I am good enough, I am loved, and I can love myself. And that's really what reparenting should be all about. Right? It's not to make you strive or make you hustle harder or make you like I need to be perfect or nice or a more polished version of myself, right? But I am enough as I am now. And so what you need is not more books, more knowledge, more breakthrough, more of those videos, right? They're nice because they can give you the awareness, they can give you the idea, they can give you the understanding, but it's how much are you willing to go to this part of you and just feel it? Really just feel in the ugliness, in the chaos, in the love, in the expansion, in whatever comes up in a moment, right? Can you feel into those contractions when they arise and teach yourself that I am safe and I accept that contraction and everything that it represents without the need to fix it or change it or break through it or freaking do whatever else, right? Because the moment you feel into that contraction and they're like, how can I fucking let it go and how can I change it and how can I transmute it? You are not accepting it. You're deluding yourself, but you're just trying to run away from the feeling and have a quick win. So this is something you really have to learn experientially. Conceptually, it will help you because you gotta start somewhere of understanding the process, but it's an experience. Can I feel the resistance that pushes me to want to let go and push that feeling out and just surrender into the feeling? And if you're here to stay, just freaking stay. Right? And dropping the judgment. And I guarantee you, you do that into that messy surrendering and going deep into those part of you and those emotions of you, they will fade off on their own without you needing to intend, needing to do anything about it. It's the most paradoxical thing. The more you feel into it, the more they will dissolve and something else will take its place. And that is the true act of self-love. And you start to do that, you see how you start to have more integration, more wholeness, more completeness, and you start to see how much you start to attract and magnetize in yourself. It's a game changer. And so show up for yourself in those moments of contraction because that's where your next level is. It's in that feeling. It's not in the manifesting and the affirmation and the pretending it's not there and the being delusional, all of this, right? Be real with yourself, accept what is, go deeply inside it, let it melt, and see what happens on the other side. Let me know if this video makes sense, guys. If you have any questions, write them down in a comment. I will see you next time. Be well and make sure you hit that subscribe button.